Hey guys, this is Nirmal here for Technique, and today we'll do the detailed review of the Samsung Galaxy Grand Prime, which is a mid-range phone which was announced by Samsung last month. And the specialty of this device is the 5 megapixel front-facing selfie camera, which has a wide-angle lens. So the Grand Prime is a mid-range phone which comes with a 5-inch QHD display. It's powered by the Snapdragon 410 quad-core chipset with 1 GB of RAM. This 8 GB internal storage which is expandable via micro SD card, and also it runs Android 4.4.4 KitKat. So that was the spec aspect of the Samsung Galaxy Grand Prime. It also features an 8 megapixel rear camera and a front facing 5 megapixel selfie camera, as we have mentioned already. So let's go into the detailed review of this device. So design wise, the Samsung Galaxy Grand Prime has a lot of resemblance with mid-range phones from Samsung, like the Samsung Galaxy Grand 2 and the Grand Neo. Apart from that, it also has a slight resemblance with even the high-end Note phone. So design wise, there isn't anything new in the Samsung Galaxy Grand Prime, but it has a pretty decent design in this price point. And the build quality aspect, you can see that the device has a chrome finish around the bezel, giving it a premium feel. And at the back panel, you can see it's a matte finish. You have the Samsung logo, the 8 megapixel camera, the LED flash, and also the speakers. So you can see it's pretty easy to hold in hand, and it's pretty compact as well. It's a 5-inch device, but Samsung hasn't wasted too much space on the front panel. You have the capacitive buttons and the home key, which we find on almost all Samsung phones. And on the top, you have the Samsung logo along with the usual set of sensors, and this is the 5 megapixel front facing camera. It's a dual SIM card, so you have the Duos branding. So that was the design and build quality of this device. So overall, we would say that the Samsung Galaxy Grand Prime is a pretty decent looking device in this price point. So it competes with Moto G, the Lumia 730 and the ASUS Zenfone 5 in this price point. So overall, we would say design wise it's not a bad device, but there isn't anything new in the design because it looks and feel almost like any other Samsung phone. Now moving on to the display on the Samsung Galaxy Grand Prime. The phone comes with a 5-inch QHD display along with a TFT panel. So there are a couple of things which is missing on this device when we compare this device along with other phones in this price point. So first step, it does not have an HD display. It's 540 by 966 pixels. So that's lower resolution than the competitors. Secondly, it does not have an IPS LCD panel. It has a TFT panel, but overall the display quality is pretty good. And there is also another thing about this device is that it does not have the ambient light sensor. So every time you want to increase the brightness, you have to manually go here and change the brightness. So that's pretty awkward for a mid-range phone, because most of the mid-range phones do have the ambient light sensor. So that was another thing missing. So overall the display quality is not bad, even though it's a QHD display. It does have real good colors. You can see the display from this video itself. It has pretty good colors. It's really vibrant and it's pretty sharp as well, even though the resolution is lower than the competition. The viewing angles are also not really bad. The sunlight durability, again I said, it's pretty good. If you increase the brightness, since there is no auto brightness, you'll have to manually increase it. That's an annoyance actually, but we are not really sure why Samsung chose with the manual thing. Probably the cost cutting would be the main reason for that. And apart from that, below the display you can see the 3 buttons. They are not backlit again, so they do offer feedback, but they are not backlit again. So that's again another cost cutting from Samsung. So that was the display aspect. Overall, the touch response is one thing which is really good on this device. So we were really surprised on the performance of this display. It's really smooth, no lag. Even if you are using for a long time, you feel this really smooth display. So even though the display resolution is low, we are really happy with the performance of this display. Now moving on to the software and the performance aspect. So software side, this phone runs Android 4.4.4 KitKat, and Samsung has the TouchWiz on top of KitKat, and you can see the device has almost similar UI as of that of other Samsung phone. But one good thing about this device is that Samsung hasn't added too many bloatwares into this device, so the performance is pretty snappy, and it does not run in the background, making the device sluggish. So in that aspect, the Samsung Galaxy Grand Prime is a pretty decent device. There is no lag or any issues. Even with multitasking, apps load up pretty fast, and even the multitasking, you can see here, this is multitasking window. You can easily switch apps, you can close them. You also have the close all apps option. So overall, in the software side, this is pretty feature rich device. You have a beautiful notification center as well, where you can have the quick toggles. A lot of them are available, although does not have the option to edit them like the Note series or even the flagship phones, but it does have a pretty good set of options included in the notification center. Apart from that, you can also edit the app drawer, you can uninstall or disable apps, you can even hide apps. So these options are created by Samsung, and this has given a pretty good feel to the device. And the software side, we are really surprised that it's really fast and fluid, no issues, no lag, and there isn't any bloatware included as well. Now performance side, the Samsung Galaxy Grand Prime comes with a Snapdragon 410 chipset, which is slightly better than the 400 chipset running on the Moto G as well as the Lumia 730. So this also comes with 1 GB of RAM. Again, the performance is really snappy, no issues whatsoever, and the overall gaming performance also is pretty good. Even though the display is not really high resolution, the games were really fast, no lag, and as I said before, the touch response is something really amazing on this device. So overall, in the performance side, we are really happy with this device. No issues, even the multitasking is really fast, games are really good on this device, no lag in the games. We played a lot of games, so you can check out our gaming review as well, so you can get an idea of how good the gaming performance is. The call quality also was really good. Although the speaker volume wasn't that good, it could have been better here, but it's acceptable quality for a mid-range phone. Although the Lumia 730 has a better speaker in this category, the speakers are not really bad, and the overall performance on this device is really good. But one thing what is missing on this device is probably the USB OTG support. It does not have any USB OTG support out of the box, unlike the Moto G or the ASUS Zenfone 5. So that's one thing which is again missing on this device. So in the performance and software side, we are really happy with this device. Now moving on to the camera on this device, it sports an 8 megapixel rear camera with LED flash and a 5 megapixel wide angle front facing camera for selfies. So interface wise, this camera has pretty good options. You can see here you have the option to choose the timer, exposure values. You can even take photos with the volume key. You also have the ability to control white balance. You can tap to focus. So these are some of the really good options available in the interface, and it's really a feature rich camera when it comes to the amount of features being offered in the camera interface. Now apart from that, you also have other options like the modes, beauty phase is there, panorama, best photo, continuous shot. You also have the night mode. You can create a GIF, that's animated GIF, and also there is sports mode. So in the modes as well, there is a lot of options to choose from. So as I said before, in the camera has pretty good amount of features to offer. Moreover, it can record videos in 1080p and also 720p, whereas the Moto G can record only in 720p. So that's an added advantage with this camera. Now moving on to the camera samples, that's one important thing to. Now moving on to the photo and video quality of this device. As you can see from these samples which are taken using the Samsung Galaxy Grand Prime, you can see the photos taken in daylight have pretty good amount of detailing, and it's pretty sharp, and the colors have also come pretty decently. Although the colors look does not look really vibrant and rich like the 730, but it does have acceptable quality, and the photos have come really good in the daylight shots. So you can see here macro shots also have come pretty good, and the tap to focus really works well, and we didn't have any issues using this camera. It was able to focus, it was able to autofocus almost all the time, and didn't have any issues while taking the photos. So the video recording is again pretty good. You have the ability to record videos in 1080p, as I said before. Now moving on to the low light photos, or photos taken with artificial lighting, it's entirely different from the daylight shots. Here the camera struggles with the clarity, and also there is a lot of noise included when taking photos in low light. So that's not really a great strength of this camera. It's not really suited for low light, and although it does have a night mode, it doesn't really work very well in the night mode, but it does take decent captures. Again, the colors are not really that great in the night mode. One thing that is missing on this device is the lack of HDR, so you cannot get really rich images. so that's one thing missing. Apart from that, it's a pretty decent camera phone in this price point, and this compare with the Moto G in terms of the overall quality. But as we said before, the Lumia 730 exhibits slightly better imaging capabilities than this device. Now talking about the front facing camera, we already uploaded some samples from this front facing camera and found that the camera quality is pretty decent. Although there is no autofocus in the front facing camera, you need to keep the device a little farther to take pretty decent shots, and the front facing photo quality is pretty decent, and it's pretty ideal for selfie. So overall we would say that camera does have pretty decent capabilities in this mid-range segment. So now moving on to the battery life on this device. So this device sports a 2600 milliamp hour battery, so that's high capacity when compared to the Lumia 730 as well as the Moto G, and this really reflects on the battery performance. So we tested the battery performance of this device and found that it's really good. One of the strong points of this device is the battery performance, and even with average usage you can definitely get 1.5 day of usage with this device. So we are now discussed about the software, the display, the performance, the camera and the battery life. So summing up, is this device really worth the buy? So this device is priced at 14.5k, and now it's available anywhere around 14 to 14.5k on online stores, and at this price it's slightly expensive than the Moto G, which is at 13k, but it's almost the same pricing as that of a Lumia 730, which again it's another competitor in this price point. So there are few things which are lacking in this device. One is there is no HD display. Second is there is no USB OTG support. There is no ambient light sensor. So these are some things which is missing on this device. But having said that, this device really performs. It has a snappy Snapdragon 410 chipset, and the gaming performance is really good, and the overall performance and the touch response is really good, and it does have a decent camera along with excellent battery life. So if you're looking for an Android phone in the mid-range category with a pretty decent battery life and performance, then this Samsung Galaxy Grand Prime is really worth the buy. So if you're also in the market for a camera smartphone with a selfie oriented camera, then look no further. This is really one good device which you can consider buying in the mid-range category. So that was a detailed review of the Samsung Galaxy Grand Prime. Hope you like this review. If you have any specific questions on this video, just drop a comment and we'll be glad to help you out with your queries. If you like this video, do hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates, and thanks for watching this video.